we're only going to hold it to be true until it's falsified. So that's why we say science doesn't prove anything. And this is Karl Popper, which you probably don't like because he's Jewish. Anyways, I'm sorry. I don't mean to like belittle you.
I don't have a problem with Jews. What the heck? I have no problem with Jewish people, man.
Let me say hi to
I've seen
Isa.
with Telegram, so
yeah.
Oh, let me say hi to Isa that he's just getting on. How are you? Did you get a chance to watch the debate? You're muted. You're muted. Maybe try resetting the thing because
yeah, we can't hear you.
We can't hear you. Yeah. So he'll be back in just a second.
But anyways, we're not asking for proof. We're just I personally just want a internally consistent argument. Some people want empirical
Can you hear me?
evidence.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Yes, we can.
I saw some of it a little bit. You know, I didn't get to see a lot because I've been running, but I know the conversation. My favorite, electrostatics, all that kind of stuff.
That's an awesome rug behind you. That's an awesome rug.
I appreciate you. If you're interested, it's a business. We have a business called Cashmere Dream, Treasures from the Silk Road. This is one of the kind of products we sell. So, yeah.
Awesome.
I'm sure I can't afford it.
Special deal. Yeah.
It didn't come.
However, it really ties the room together.
It didn't.
I appreciate you.
It was actually a good debate.
It was good. It was good. It didn't turn into like that invoking kind of weird things. They don't like gravity, but we knew that we
electrostatics. It's electrostatics.
In the pre-show. Yeah, that they mentioned electrostatics, but we couldn't stick any of the points. And give me just a second. Code JS985 499. Good job, us and FTSE. You were on just on a different level than Don and Dave. Thank you so much for your super chat and for the support and for being here. So thank you overall.
So Isa, it's not just electrostatics that these people are claiming that causes this downward, force. It's buoyancy, density, and electrostatics, maybe in conjunction.
How can you say that with a straight face?
Because you can use electrostatics to make things with mass actually rise. So there is definitely a provable.
No, but I mean the buoyancy.
But you need.
But the buoyancy, I can drop an orange in a bathtub and it floats, and I can peel it and it'll sink. So there's.
Because there's air locked inside that orange, and also the amount of energy, the amount of electricity you need for one of those generators to make a tiny amount of mass float is massive. So you can just say that, where's the energy coming from?
Can you get a piece of
measurable?
Can you get a piece of lead to float, please? Just a piece of lead, one piece of lead.
Inside of mercury, yes, you can.
No, can you get a piece of lead to float with the
in water.
With the Van de Graaff generator? Van de Graaff generator, please.
Apparently you can, but I haven't tried it. And I think you would need probably in the magnitude of millions of volts.
Why does it? But the atmosphere is only 400 kilovolts. So
yeah, because density and things like that kind of are a little bit stronger of a force. Just like they say, gravity is the weakest force.
Why would the weakest force be the container for air, anyways? But go ahead. I'm sorry.
Gravity is much stronger at long distances than electrostatics is. So I don't know what you're talking about.
It's going to be weaker as further away as it goes from the mass, but I'm sorry.
Because it has to be.
Yeah, but electricity and electromagnetism also gets weaker a lot faster than gravity with distance. And 1 second, we'll do a little side tangent. Maximiliano Villa, our other Max, says vote ISA 2024 and get a free rug.
I want a free rug too.
Or the link again, please. Thank you.
That's obviously a joke about the free rug, unless Isa's going to promise it.
Oh, I can definitely run. I might run for student government, so we'll see about that.
But you're going to give free rugs out if you win?
No,
yeah, I can give you free pictures of rugs. How's that sound?
Okay. Isa, if you have
we got them right now.
If you have a link to your business, please share it to me on the private chat, and I'll send it over to.
I don't think it's live yet. We're still fixing the website, but when I do, I'll give it to you as soon as possible.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Sorry to interrupt. Let's go back to.
No, I appreciate you.
the thing is, with no longer on a ball, the thing is that I brought this up to Witsit directly, and he just hand waved it away, said that no Faraday cages are perfect. But if gravity had anything to do at all with electrostatics, if you put an object inside a Faraday cage and you dropped it, at the very least, the magnitude of that acceleration should be reduced by some degree. And it doesn't happen. It just doesn't happen
I think what he's
at
saying
all.
That even if you do or do not see it, even if it's so small, you cannot get rid of the variable that it's there in everything. I think that's where he was coming from.
But that's not how that works. If it was,
I don't even understand.
And so you with a Faraday cage, you're wrapping it around some sort of mass and expecting it to start floating or what?
No, I'm saying that
it should become lighter.
You would drop it. And
why?
If you drop
why?
it
If
from
anything,
maybe
it becomes heavier slightly. I don't know.
Well,
it's not like you're discharging your mass.
If it's causing any type of downward acceleration, it should change the amount of downward acceleration.
Yes.
If it's in a Faraday cage, and if you touch it, you're grounding it to the ground, so it should change the amount of downward acceleration.
Yeah,
because honestly, you're grounding it to the ground.
Yeah, and I agree with that. Actually, yeah, if you touch something to a ground, it should actually lose its charge.
No, you're dodging the point because this is exactly what Witsit did.
No, I was actually agreeing with him.
So electrostatics has no effect on downward acceleration. It just does
whatsoever. Yes.
Feynman was describing lightning and how lightning works in that lecture. He was not describing anything.
Why does Walter Lewin think that it's 10 to the 37th power stronger than gravity?
Well, because it is.
That's about atomic bonds.
Why wouldn't that rule our world?
That's about atomic bonds.
Yes.
Atomic bonds.
And atomic bonds do rule our world because my table right here wouldn't exist if there were no bonds between the atoms that make it up. Chemistry wouldn't exist if there were no, bonds between atoms.
And we understand atomic theory pretty well. I asked, remember that stream, Brenda, that we were on with Dave and Jaren, that I asked them if they accepted atoms and they said no. And my follow-up question was like, okay, how does any of chemistry work? And they didn't have an answer for that. So
chemistry is atomic interactions.
And we know exactly how that works. We know.
It's atoms combining and coming apart in different ways under different conditions, depending on the type of atom it is, and none of it would work if atoms didn't exist.
I used the periodic table to do chemistry. That's how you learn chemistry. It was with the atomic periodic table.
Jaren's attempt, because then I asked another question, is like, okay, how do we develop new materials? How do we develop polymers and alloys and all materials that didn't exist many, many years ago? And Jaren's answer to that was that, oh, well, they just try, they just mix, match. But it's like, no, dude, by the time they get to do the material, they already know what's going to happen because we understand chemistry really, really well.
Yeah, we have designer material. You can literally design an alloy to have the properties that you want it to have before you even make it.
Pedro says we pray them into existence.
I have a question, a little bit off topic, I guess, but
it's been off topic for a while.
Not sort of, but it's about Nick Fuentes. If everybody knows who Nick Fuentes is,
go ahead.
Yes.
Okay, so he claims he's not an incel. He just is sort of asexually, has no desire to ever have sex, right?
I think he just wants to be celibate for God.
He wants
I'm also doing that. I'm celibate for God.
But he has no intention to ever get married either, as far as I understand it.
Me too, man. I just want to be celibate. I got 2 kids. I'm happy.
But you're
wait.
That literally made no sense.
Wait, my brain just went like, what?
There's a contradiction there. Yeah, Tim Bob nailed it. Okay, but he's out there attacking women all the time attacking women. So he's out there attacking women, calling them all type of witches, and we should like burn them at the stake again. And ever since we stopped doing the witch trials, look what's happened to women across the world. And he never wants to get married, right? He doesn't want to have sex, right? And he's like this hyper conservative right wing personality on social media.
I believe
So,
that there's.
Flatman,
I believe that there's
Yeah,
been
what's up?
surveys that show there's a great deal of latent homosexuality on very far right. Quite a lot of it. Who was
does your
one of
gay
the,
Ted Haggard was. Remember Ted Haggard, where
yeah.
it did
he
a
was
line
this
of
big
coke.
evangelical. He did a lot of drugs, and then the person he was with revealed what was going on. It was horrendous.
Well, I
And-
said just because you do a line of coke off of gay strippers' ass doesn't mean you're gay. I mean, come
Now,
on.
Yeah,
now,
to each their own. You know, to label
Yeah.
it being a left or a right thing is kind of childish.
well, he's yeah, okay, but I have no problem with him, but it seems weird. Like, I'm not saying you can tell if somebody's gay by like a 2-minute conversation, but I'm not seeing I'm that off usually after a 2-minute conversation with somebody. Like, usually, like I had these two friends, right? For a long time, like for several years, I used to LARP with all the time, and we went out all the time. And I was like so confused because he started dating this girl that had like no breasts and stuff like that. I was like, I thought he was gay. Like, how's he dating a girl? Like, and then like he broke up with her after like 3 months, and then he started dating a guy. I'm like, okay, now the world makes sense again.
So you think
And-
Nick is gay? Okay.
Dude, I tell you, man, like I see Nick talk and the way his mannerisms, how he interacts with people, man, it goes like there's no way. Anyways,
what I wanted to tell you,
respect him.
Flatman, is that the moment that you had sex, you're no longer celibate. What you can say now is, for example, that you become asexual, which means that you have no interest in having further
No, I
sex.
think celibacy means abstaining from sex. It doesn't.
No, yeah, but it means
Well,
abstaining absolutely. It
no,
means that you
right.
never have sex.
no,
No,
that's
it doesn't
that's
mean
being
never.
a virgin. That
It
means
means a
virgin.
virgin. Yeah,
He can be celibate from here going forward.
exactly.
Dead Alpha 3000 talking about Nick Fuentes, why he isn't here. Dude, the person's a disgusting person. He can come here if he wants to.
Yeah, she can come. Yeah.
I don't know how long he would last, to be perfectly honest. But
All right, we've been going for a while, and we have massively derailed the show. But let's go around the panel, and I'm going to start with Isa. Give our final thoughts, and we'll be on our way. Thank you, everyone, for being here. Do the things of the web, click, share, like, subscribe, and all those things. And Isa, give us your final thoughts.
Oh, my final thoughts. Wow, I had a lot to just contribute in that last conversation, but that will wait for another time. I think this is the endless conversation of the globe versus the globe skepticism or the flat earth. And I think we're just going to always have the same kind of space. You know, we're going to have things like electrostatics and buoyancy and density versus gravity. And we're just going to have these endless conversations. And I think it's really interesting, and it's an interesting narrative to see where people stand. And I'm always here to listen and always here to have a conversation. So let's keep it going. Matters now.
All right. Thank you so much. Flatman,
Well,
final
what's
thoughts
that?
before we go?
Yeah, I mean, when you walk out your front door, it appears that we're living on a stationary place that, doesn't appear to be moving to me. I can't feel it. And, the globe's been debunked, in my opinion, and until someone can show me proof of where I actually live, I don't know where I live. Go ahead.
All right. Thanks so much. No longer on a ball. Final thoughts.
Hey, yeah. So thank you for having me on. It was a pleasure. You guys did awesome in that debate today. You know where I stand with things. I'm basically always willing and able, wanting to learn. You know, I don't have all the answers. I used to be a big globe believer. Space was a fantasy. I loved it. I never liked the narrative that went along with it. Since then, I became a flat earther by researching digging in. And it's tough to do. It's very tough to do because flat Earth is very censored. And what you will find out there on the web is usually some of the controlled opposition stuff to make flat Earth look stupid. For example, the Flat Earth Society, Obama's little club. So, it's really hard to actually research any good information out there. But once you start to do it, I suggest start looking into NASA, some of their fakery, their CGI, and the other issues that they've had throughout the years. It all starts to kind of add up, and eventually you just start to see a pattern, and it's kind of looks deceptive. If you do find out, and just try to debunk flat Earth fervently, and trying to weed your way through all of the misinformation out there, you will find, the truth does feel good. And it also makes you willing to research. You'll never be bored again, and you'll become more open-minded. Before I believed the globe, and I was closed-minded about it. I thought flat Earth was stupid. I called them names, blah, blah, blah. So, basically once you become open-minded, it helps. I'm sure there's other ways to become more open-minded, but I think flat Earth is actually one of the ultimate ways to do so, because it sees through many deceptions, not just where we live.
All right, thank you very much. Coffee Breath, final thoughts?
I wanted to come on here because I heard two people talking about what Christians believe, and they don't represent me. They don't represent any of the Christians that I've ever met in my entire life. And I want to be, there's a lot of loud Christians out there who don't represent anything that I think Christianity is about. And I wanted to just come on to try to be a little bit of a voice in that. I also want to say that the Earth being the center of the universe makes no sense. Why that would make the Earth better. I commented earlier, one of the most fundamental concepts of the art of composition is never put your focal point in the middle. You'll always put it off onto one of the golden corners or put it in it anywhere but the dead center. So if God is some kind of creative being, why did it put us in the dead center? It just nothing about being in the center makes something more or less valuable. It's a dumb idea. I also think that there's a lot of misunderstandings about what the Bible is, how it's supposed to be read, how the original authors intended for it to be read, how it was handed down through the years. And these misunderstandings get spouted off on debates like this as if they're true, and they're just fundamental misunderstandings of how that book was written. So I encourage people who talk about what the Bible is and how it works to do more research, do your own research, and find out how the Bible actually came to be.
I just want to say, even though you don't represent me as a Christian as well, that I still love you and everybody. Just want to throw that in there.
All right. Thank you very much, Coffee Breath. Leonardo da Vinci came up today in the debate. That was fun. Brenda, final thoughts.
When did he come up?
Yeah, Dawn mentioned that the Last Supper had something to do with something.
The equinox.
Yes.
I did a quick search, and apparently it is, well, according to Quora, so I don't know, but it's like it's supposed to be set at the time of an equinox, and that the 12 disciples represent astrological signs. So I don't know how much to put into that.
Yeah, look, the smile's not in the center. Let's look at the Last Supper too. Like Last Supper painting. What's in the center of the Last Supper painting? I guess Jesus.
I don't know.
In the supper.
I don't remember it.
But even Jesus isn't in the center. The center's like right here at the chest. Like let me show
Open
this.
it. Open it there.
So the center is like right here.
It'd
So
be the
his
heart.
head.
It'd be the
That
heart.
would be the Sacred Heart. That would be the Sacred Heart symbolism. Yeah.
Look up the rule of thirds.
Would that be like part of the rule of thirds, like the top thirds for the head, the
I
heart,
don't
and the
know.
table? I don't know.
This would not be an example of the rule of thirds.
Okay.
You could
I don't want to hijack the show.
Yeah, Mary and the other disciple are in the golden corners of the rule of thirds, but
okay.
There you go. Rule of thirds basically says never put your focal point in the middle. It's one of the most basic rules of composition.
Well, some people do it for that reason, for the emphasis.
Yeah.
I mean, there's sometimes when the thing about rules is you have to know when to break them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Know when to fold them. Know when to hold them.
Like jazz, they break the musical rules all the time, and it works.
Yeah. So my reaction to the whole thing today is it went relatively well. I'm not a big fan of the format. I don't know if it was the YouTube or if it was Craig's or whatever. It seemed to not operate at the best.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I would have wished that you had more opportunity to press instead of they just gish galloped and and it would have been nice if there was a way to press when they refused to answer.
Yeah.
But other than that, I'm not a big fan. It's not by any means the worst debate. I kind of like Jaron's old format better, to be honest with you. But we'll see.
All right, thank you so much. And before I hand it over to us, Bob sends a $2 super chat. So no evidence of curve, only haughty altitude during a flight. So thank you, Bob.
We talked about
your
Austin showing his curves. Oh boy! All right, we're getting way off topic.
Super. Thank you for your super chat, Bob. And final thoughts.
I wish I could press, but that would have been a shit show if we had pressed Dave or Dawn.
Yeah.
You saw how it went just with the super chat. She got so offended when we answered a super chat and talked about our experiences in the Navy with drills and stuff like that. That just addressed that specific super chat. Just saying, it would have been bad. And so I don't know. Just to say, I'm going back to my schooling, reschooling flat earthers series. So tomorrow, as you know, I couldn't do it Monday because I had to go out of town for a doctor's appointment, and today we had a debate. But I'll be starting it tomorrow at some point. We're scheduling. I'm bringing Flatzoid on so he can preach to us about biblical cosmology. It's not going to be a debate.
He is what I'm convinced that Flatzoid is not an actual.
I got to get out of here. I love you guys. God bless. Peace out.
Take care. Thank you for coming, Flatman.
Peace, brother.
Take care.
And I'm glad you're here, Coffee Breath. I do my best, man, to try to steel man Christians because I think it's unfair that people say Christians can't believe in evolution. And atheists do that too. They'll say Christians can't believe in evolution.
That's not
Christians
true.
can't believe.
I'm a pretty strong atheist. I don't think Christians can't believe in evolution. I don't think that at all.
It's a Twitter troll atheist.
Yeah, it's like an internet atheist thing.
It's the two of them that left recently that I got in an argument with that told me they couldn't believe in evolution or abiogenesis or any of that stuff. They're gone though. Anyway.
Anything else before I give my final thoughts and we are on our way to bed?
No. Thank you so much, everybody, for coming.
Sometime check out that video I sent you, Max.
The one from Shane about geocentrism.
No, about the 3 polarized lens
Oh
filters.
yes, I have that one also here.
Nice. Yeah, one time I'll have
Well,
to follow up with you on that.
really quick, if anybody wants to debate me, any flat earthers, I am
Oh.
open to debating anybody. People were attacking on Twitter, Don and Dave as not being real flat earthers. Like that was legitimately happening. And they say,
And I
Ozine, you won't debate real flat earthers. I just debated Witsit. Like I won't. Was Witsit not a real? That you know what I won't do? I won't go to their spaces on Twitter where they control the mute button and won't let you talk. I won't
You
go
know,
there.
you know what's hilarious is on the globe side, they're like, "Oh, that flat earther is an agent, or he's not really a flat earther." And then on the flat earth side, they're like, "Oh, that guy's a shill. He's a." Blah." It goes both ways. It's hilarious.
Yeah, they can come. They can come to Jeranism's channel. They can come here. They can request it through Modern Day Debate. James knows me. He has all my contact information, my phone number. He knows that. He has my email address. He knows me on Discord. He knows how to get a hold of me. If they want to debate me on any of those platforms, those people know how to find me, and they can. I'll debate them anywhere.
I would probably debate you if I ever got stronger at debating. I've always basically hated debates, and I'm getting more enjoyment out of them lately and
Yeah.
learning more. So maybe someday, because you're one of the coolest ones to actually debate.
I will confront you how you confront me. If you want to have a conversation, I love having conversations. But don't call me a liar, dude. I get annoyed.
You
Mhm.
lying shill. Yeah, right.
Oh,
Yeah, I think that's lame on both sides. Either side
yeah,
does that stuff. It can just be left out. I prefer it
yeah.
too. I do get triggered, so sometimes I'll go off and I'll start saying stupid crap, but I don't mean to. I'm learning to control that a little better
Did you
too. So
did you hear
That's awesome.
I defended Brenda and Dave from the super chatters that were insulting them. Like, dude, that's how I am. Like the only way I'm going to convince flat earthers to come to the dark side, to accept they can have meaning and purpose without denying like these things, is if I like am like here with open arms, hugs and kisses and love. And is that's the only way. Like how, like bringing a sword to convince
Ooh.
somebody to convert, dude, that is not going to change anybody's mind.
All right.
That's a fabulous.
Danny D. Salt says you're doing great, Max. Thank you so much. We try and we put I put
Absolutely.
a lot of good effort to try to make this a safe place where everyone feels welcome. So it's good that everyone can
Relate
come
stable.
here, share their opinion,
All right.
and have a good time. So today I had a lot of fun in the debate. I talked with a bunch of people on Jaren's channel. I heard some things that probably I heard before, but it was a good fun afternoon. We did the pre-show, watched the debate, and then the after show. So overall, a really nice day. Check out our content. We have Reschooling the Flat Earthers series coming back tomorrow, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and all days after that. Tomorrow also at 9 p.m. Isa is going to take the chat duties for the Tell Me That Story show. We're going to talk about the book of the 1001 Nights. He's going to read us a story from the book, and we're going to discuss it a little bit in through Tell Me That Story fashion. And that's it. Stick around. We hope to have some more debates coming up. And if there are debates, you will have a pre-show and an after show. Thank you, everyone, for being there. And we're off.
much love.
Take care. Thank you so much.